Okay,
谢谢。
so next one, let's welcome Johan from meme.com. Hello, Johan. So do your
Hi.
yeah.
I'm co-founder of meme.com. We've been around in the NFT space since 2018. We initially started out as marble cards, which is a way to basically tokenize web links and trying to measure their value with the form of NFTs. We recently sort of branched out a bit and changed name to meme.com earlier this year. And meme.com, the scope we're going for is to be able to use different crypto incentives to, one, measure the value of memes and also reward meme creators and the people who help spread memes and sort of tell the story of the internet. So yeah, we've over 120,000 NFTs minted on our platform so far. So it's been an amazing ride.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And let's welcome Michael from Quid.
Yes, hi, I'm from Quid. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quid. We are an online marketplace for buying and selling digital collectibles and NFTs. We've got partnerships with a number of media companies like Disney, Marvel, Game of Thrones. And basically what we do is we either license content or work with partners who convert their intellectual property into digital collectibles and NFTs, basically digital stickers, digital trading cards, digital 3D figures. And we offer a place for the average fan to come in and buy their first digital collectible. If they like it, they can own it off-chain or they can mint it on-chain as an NFT to their chain of choice. So we like to think we're set up as sort of a gateway for NFTs to the average fan, to the average no-coiner, to someone who doesn't yet know about NFTs or about crypto in general. We are a little bit older than Johan's group. We've been doing this since 2015. So what is novel about us is we actually got into the space first believing that people would collect things digitally. And now what we've learned is actually NFT is a technical standard and blockchains in general are a far better solution for permanence and profitability if you like to buy and sell digital collectibles. Last point too is we're also a part of the Animoca Brands family. So if you're familiar with the Sandbox or other blockchain gaming projects, we're a part of that consortium.
Yeah, thank you very much. I see quite interesting thing like from your website, all your products are priced in dollars. So that's something very different from purely crypto related, NFT projects, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of a hybrid approach. We think it's the most accessible way that you can get a collectible in the hands of an average individual. And actually, I think what happens then is they buy something that they love and they buy it in USD. Because they love it, they want to back it up and store it forever. So we're actually the reason that you want to get a crypto wallet or want to get a cryptocurrency to begin with.
Yeah, from those big names you mentioned in crypto, I also see your project is backed by Sequoia as well, right? So which means they literally invest in your.
Yeah, we're kind of the OG or we've been doing this for quite some time. In fact, we've created CryptoKitties and generally believe that ultimately people that like to collect things in paper or plastic, that's going to go through a format shift and they will prefer to buy things made in code.
Okay, thank you. So next one we'll have Gaby from the Games. Hello, Gaby. So
hi, my name is Gabby from Yield Games or YGG. So I've been in the NFT space since 2018. I've been a game developer since 2003 for so long time now. And yeah, that's how I got into the NFT space. And last year, I put up YGG as a play to earn gaming guild. So that means that we invest in NFTs in different games that where players can earn money. And then we lend these out to our players so that we can play them. So we've got a player community of over 17,000 people now. Around 2,000 of them are actually earning hundreds of dollars a month in games like Axie Infinity. A lot of them in emerging countries like Philippines, Indonesia, Venezuela, Brazil. And it's actually made their lives better just finding jobs in the metaverse in blockchain games rather than in real life. So that's what we do, and we've invested in 10 different games now, and we want to be basically the gateway for players to go into the metaverse.
Thank you. I also heard like YGG going to do the token sale partnership with Sushi Swap in January 2027, right?
July 27. Yes.
July 27. Yeah.
So next month, we just announced it yesterday. We're going to do our IDO on the Sushi Miso platform.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Next but not least, hello, Sagi. Good to see you again.
Hey.
Do a short intro. Yeah. Right.
I'm glad as always to be here. So thank you, Tracy. Now I'm doing kind of digital label. So for because I saw this real gap between real value and what do we have right now in NFT space in terms of art and especially in terms of music. So, and with my partner, we decided, okay, let's do some experiments with intellectual property of like famous people, like mostly musicians, and let's try to make some smart NFTs. We're more strategic about this. So, and the next big thing that I'm doing right now is I'm like ambassador or like late contributor in new NFT game. I believe there is lack of NFT games like that do have good plot, good scenario. So I think with this good team that I joined, we could change it, and it is Satoshi Quest. So and this game will and already contain like a lot of things from our industry, because I'm in this industry for a long time, and I know it does mean like, you know, when you feel it like Bitcoin pizza is super popular, but you know, like first Bitcoin transaction, like, and like even Bitcoins from Satoshi that have been mined by Satoshi, it's kind of collectibles right now. So we decided to make this beautiful plot and integrate everything there. So, and I'm really glad to do this, because for me it's super interesting. I like to do this creative stuff, and yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I always can feel your passion, you know, like usually we meet and I see, you know, you really love it, so what you're doing. Very happy to have you here again, Sigi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see you guys, you know, by the short introduction of yourself and even the project, I see you guys are, I mean, all the OG from our industry. So let's bring our first question here. I'll start with Mr. Xu. So in your opinion, so what is NFT and why is it is important to the crypto world? So 我们从徐总看。
So I think Charlie gave us a very, you know, like professional kind of explanation on NFT. So I'm gonna just dumb it down a little bit. Well, we all know what it means, right? NFT, non-fungible token, but it really doesn't sound so clear to most of the people outside our crypto circle. So to put it in a very simple way, I think, in my opinion, it really means something unique and something cannot be replaced with something else. So, you know, if we put it in the, you know, the technical sense, it's just NFT is a unique token built on the blockchain, as simple as that. So now why is it important? Well, the story could go on and on. Of course, depending on your role in the game, right? Whether you are an art creator, a buyer, or a collector. But no matter what, you know, I think fundamentally, NFT has really solved a critical problem facing the digital world, which is the verification of ownership for property rights. And in my opinion, this is really a game changer, just like how civilization is fostered after the ownership of our property rights. Since, you know, after our property rights are verified and protected. Now, with the ownership confirmed, and you know, in the digital world, the provenance, scarcity, and also uniqueness of digital assets could really take place. Now, as a creator myself, like Tracy knows, and I've been a journalist for a long time as well. So for example, the information economy hasn't really been kind to creators like writers, musicians, photographers. We see the work share and copy for free over the internet, right? So when the pieces, like even when the works are bought, the big money really went to the big platforms such as Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Now with NFTs, this is going to be changed to change, and creators now can, like cut out the middleman, and also get their works to the customers, and get the results directly through smart contracts on the blockchain. So it really, I think, in my opinion, it really puts the right and power back to the people. So the information flows, so that's the value, and that's why I think NFT is so important to the crypto and digital world.
Thank you very much, Vivi. And Johan, from the OG of the industry. So, I mean, meme.com being the market for a while, right? So we really like to have your insights as well. Yeah.
Where I got excited initially by NFTs were, if you look at the real world, you have sort of money, and then you have everything else that you spend your money on, that you sort of ascribe value to, and so on. And with NFTs, now we're also able to do that in the digital world. And digital things, I personally think in most cases are a lot more effective than analog things, be that art or other types of collectibles. They're always in mint condition. You don't have to store them. You don't have to do anything with them. They're just there forever, hopefully. So I think as more and more things turn digital, the things in this digital realm will be very, very important. And as said previously, it will be a lot easier for creators and similar to have a direct connection with consumers, and hopefully we'll be able to easier make a living using that.
All right, thank you very much. And Michael, your insights?
Yeah, I think Vivi and Johan did a great job articulating it. I'll just piggyback on what they said. In terms of what Johan said, the individuals today with the spending power are folks that grew up playing video games. So you already have a generation that is predisposed over decades to valuing digital objects, right? So for them, they can have a sense of ownership for and pride of ownership of something that sits behind a screen that they can't actually physically touch. So you've got a generation that's already predisposed to putting value on digital objects. When you add the technical standard of the NFT and you add the power of the blockchain, to Vivi's point, you're really adding, I think, sort of economic empowerment, right? You're actually creating an environment where that digital object can be uniquely owned by somebody. And from that, they can actually do things they couldn't do in, let's say, traditional video games or on the traditional internet. So I tend to think some of the most disruptive things are actually changes to business models as opposed to changes to technology. And to Vivi's point, it's not just that you have digital property rights over a unique asset. It's also what you can do with it. So for someone that owns a digital object that's an NFT, you have full rights to be able to sell it to somebody else. So there now exists an economic utility that was otherwise locked up and probably stored within the context of a centralized game. You also have what I think is really profound is the second or third order implication of the object being digital, which means the original creator and issuer of the NFT can also sort of go along for the ride as programmatically encapsulated in the smart contract. And what that means is if you're in the world of collectibles, the world of art, you actually don't need to overproduce. You can show discipline and restraint, issue maybe 100 NFTs and stop there, right? Because you can participate in the aftermarket sales of that item into perpetuity. And that fact fundamentally alters the markets for things like art, for things like collectibles. when the producer can participate in a sale 10 years, 20 years, 30 years after they initially made the piece, that then alters how they produce their work. So the very fact that you've got a digital object, whether it's a collectible, a piece of art that can live forever and can have participation way after the fact by the initial issuer, utterly transforms the economics, both empowering the owners as well as empowering the original issuers to pretty much forever participate in the economic activity of that object.
Right. Thank you very much. And also, Gaby, from your opinion.
Sure. So there were two things originally that I really loved about NFTs that actually really continue till today. So I come from a gaming and game development background, and what really excited me was the true ownership, wherein I could buy something from a game and I owned it. It's not owned by the game anymore. And it's something that sits on my wallet and I can bring anywhere with me. And just the concept of the metaverse where you have your items that you can bring with you across different worlds. This is something that I'm really excited about and trying to build towards. And the other part is interoperability, meaning if I buy a piece of artwork on an art platform, maybe I go into one of the virtual worlds and I can see it being displayed there. I buy one of the CryptoKitties and then I can see it walking with me in another game. I think this has been, I would say, underexplored in the last few years, just because the projects are still very young and really trying to make something from their own asset base. But as you see the metaverse mature, I think you're going to see more and more of this interoperability and cross-asset that go across different games and virtual worlds, and that's very exciting for me.
Thanks for sharing insights. I mean, you know, it's very important that, like, you know, because you have the background in the gaming industry, so you talk about more like metaverse sort of thing in terms of the gaming orientation. We'd love to hear more. So for following Sherry, thank you. And then we have Sergey, your insight on this.
I can add just NFT is technology, and as technology, I like this flexibility of implementation. Your rules directly in your art, games, etc. So, and it's so fantastic that you could easily integrate anything and make any conditions for collectors, users, etc. And for example, your artwork could be easily changed, like when something else happened. And it's truly unique, and I like it a lot. And especially interoperability is kind of, for me, it's important as well. So that's cool.
I'm sorry to put you at the last one, but if you want to still have more insight to share, okay? You are allowed to share more. So just feel free to speak out your opinions. Thank you very much, Sergey. All right, so we come to our second question. So you know the market has been ups and downs for quite a while recently. So what's the current NFT market look like for all our guests here today? I would like to ask this second question. 那你的观点是怎么看现在 NFT 市场的一个反应？对。
Okay, yeah, I think Mr. Xu has made a really good point. You know, like being, well, 我就说英文了，不好意思。So I think the whole NFT markets, of course, as part of the big crypto market, are coming down. You know, like there's no doubt about it in terms of trading volumes and prices. But interestingly, I just checked, you know, the data from nonfungible.com. As we can see, actually, there's some silver lining in this. Active wallets number have increased over the month, and so are the numbers of sales, actually. So the prices go down.
我应该是 Vivi 第二天 I think Vivi is just offline. Maybe the line is not stable. Let's wait a bit. We'll see how Johan see this the current NFT market. So what's your insights on this?
Obviously, it's in a it's in a downturn at the moment. Is she come back?
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. Vivi.
Yes, I'm back.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't know why. Hello.
No
对，刚
problem.
才掉线了。
Yeah, start your start your time.
Okay. Yeah, so I will wrap it up. So I think, you know, like from the bigger picture, I think, you know, like the in the space, the NFT space are, you know, is still at a very early stage. And so, you know, it suffers from a bunch of challenges and, you know, like the liquidity issues, and there are questions to be figured out, such as, you know, price discoveries, and, you know, how do you decide the pricing of NFTs, etc. So I think, you know, like even though the market is down, but we do see the silver lining, like I mentioned, you know, like the numbers of wallets and the numbers of sales are still going up. So I think luckily we've seen many startups in the space to figure out ways to solve, you know, the challenges in the space. Well, like the project I'm working on, X Carnival, for example, like I mentioned, you know, we're trying to enable people to pledge and borrow NFTs using peer-to-peer methods. So in order to create more liquidity in the space. So hopefully the markets would, you know, we hope the market would come back to a healthy mode. Casey?
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God. So
Right.
my connection is not good.
No. Yeah, but I still understood so what you just talked about. Let's go back to Johan. Thank you for sharing, Vivi. Anyway,
Thank you,
Johan.
No, but I can only agree. It's gone down a bit. I love to collect NFTs mainly for myself and sort of my personal enjoyment, and that's the cool thing about NFTs. It's sort of equal amount speculation or just financial stuff, and then enjoyment and entertainment. And I think those parts, especially now, is what you should look for. People having fun with their stuff, people, you know, being passionate about what they own, be it art or virtual land or collectibles and so on. So I think for me, you know, up or down, I love my collectibles and my NFTs, none the same, and I still have fun with them. So less affected by the sort of ups and downs in the market.
Oh, all right. So regardless, right? So you will keep collecting your
I think many people going into the market trying to, you know, flip things and make a profit. I think I personally think they're in it for the wrong reasons, especially now in the early innings. They should do it because, you know, they love what they're buying and what they're holding. So
I mean,
it makes it also easier.
To be honest,
because the issues with NFTs, it's not like tokens where they sort of go down.
Yeah.
Most NFTs, the sort of liquidity dries out, and then you can't even sell them, and it's you know, then you're in a bad spot if you did it to make money.
Exactly, but my personal experience, like to be honest, I feel like it's very difficult to take profit from NFTs. You know, I mean personally, I collect a few, but even during that last cycle, like let's say that last hype, I still didn't sell none of them. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know the point. You know, so how to profit from NFTs. But
yeah, but my is I rarely sell. I've pretty much sold no NFTs. I have like 1,500 or something. So my take is in 10 years, you know, there are going to be artifacts, many of them.
Okay.
So whatever happens until then, I'm not too, you know.
So just keep collecting, right? Regardless of
collect what you really like, collect what you believe in, and sort of just stay calm.
Okay.
Keep going.
对，所以 OK, thanks for sharing. So 我刚刚觉得 Johan 这点分享特别好，就是他觉得也是其实不惧牛熊，就如果你特别喜欢 NFT 这些收藏品的话，或者是艺术品的，或者哪怕是在游戏里边的，我觉得就是他的意思说放长远看还是非常值得收藏的，就是这个就是跟你兴趣爱好 相关了，你去收藏一些有意思的呀，或者是有价值的。All right, then let's go back to thanks Johan again. So let's go back to Michael. So how do you see the current NFT market?
Yeah, I think Johan did a very good job describing it. Obviously, we're in a down cycle. Asset prices are coming down. There are probably fewer accounts that are engaged. But when you zoom out, there's going to be little cycles that happen throughout the course of these markets. It's not unlike the art market. It's not unlike, you know, the collectible watch market, the collectible car market, the trading card market. They always go through these cycles. They also attract individuals who are there for different reasons or have different motivations, right? I think this last cycle of NFTs probably had a rush of speculators that came in that saw rising prices and the ability to make a quick flip. There are other motivations for owning an NFT beyond just, you know, trying to make money in a few days, right? There's the investor attitude, which is I'm here for 10 years or 20 years, right? It doesn't matter if there isn't liquidity because I want to hold this and pass it on to my kids or my grandkids. Then there's a whole host of psychological and sociological and emotional motivations, sort of what Johan was saying about collect what you love, right? We have millions of collectors on Quid who are just super fans. They love Spider-Man, they love Mickey Mouse, you know, and they're there because it's about their affinity for the intellectual property and their love of the character or their love of the genre or the love of the story. We also have collectors that love NFTs because they want to complete a set and they want to get all 8 of a certain sort of family of objects, or they like the social prestige and status that can come from owning a sought after NFT, even if that means they don't want to flip it or sell it. So ultimately, all of these collectibles markets go through cycles. The healthiest ones will be the ones that can accommodate the most reasons to own the NFT. Because what you really want for a healthy collectibles ecosystem is different motivations. Somebody who must have it regardless of price, combined with somebody who is a bit more price sensitive, combined with somebody who's totally fine holding it for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So ultimately, this is, I think, going to be a very good thing for the NFT market because it's going to force individuals in this space to figure out other motivations for holding the NFT or for buying the NFT to begin with that are more lasting and more durable and more sustainable than purely the quick flip.
Thanks for sharing. I mean, you say the same concept as just Johan shared, right? So more like a value oriented to invest in something you like or you see the value in long term, not in short, you know, price flip moment, right? Yeah. So 刚刚 Michael, so here Johan, so please share also your insights with the you know, NFT project or direction like you are interested in, you know, in the future. Yeah.
There are a lot of things, but so I'm also very interested in the metaverse and sort of virtual worlds. I'm interested to see what the first sort of NFTs that will not only be aesthetic, but will actually have some kind of functionality in sort of metaverse. I'm not sure what that is, but NFTs with not only static ones, basically images or videos, but that actually has some sort of functionality that I'm interested in. I really like programmable art, for example. I think that is a very sort of underexplored thing that I think will grow a lot, and how people can collaborate to create art and sort of have that type of stuff. But in general, like more dynamic things, more unexpected things, and hopefully it will be less of the sort of static things that we saw as the first iteration or the current wave that we're seeing.
All right. Thank you very much for sure. And also, Gaby, from your point of view.
I was experimenting a lot on the intersection in NFTs and DeFi last year. And I think what's going to get interesting is that more real world objects, items are going to be represented as NFTs. We already see this with NFTs being issued of payable invoices, even wine, collectibles that are escrowed somewhere. So suddenly we're going to have a lot of the value of the real world somehow custodied and then issued as an NFT. And yeah, so this is just going to exciting for me. Like, what if you have, for example, your house as an NFT that is backed by the actual title of your house? Can you borrow money against it? Can you get liquidated? And can someone take over your house if you lose it? I think there's just going to be so many implications of that. And I can have my house actually represented in the metaverse as well. And we're going to see this blurring of really what is value. Is my house the NFT? Is it the physical house? Like, what's the difference? There's going to be a lot more of that in the future.
Yeah. Thank you very much. 那从 Gaby 的这个角度呢，他就觉得说还是他个人感兴趣的方向是在这个就是现实资产的这个映射在区块链上面，比如说跟你的房子呀等等这些相关的这个资产，那搁到游戏里边可能也是有更多的这个发展前景在这里边。Okay, Michael, you like to share your insights?
Yeah, you bet. I agree with what Johan said. I think we're in this era of NFTs, particularly with digital collectibles as NFTs that take their inspiration from the real physical world. It's sort of like, we're making digital versions of physical objects, and those physical objects have certain constraints, right? For trading cards, they have to be made of cardboard with ink printed on top. There's a whole supply chain and distribution network. They have to fit nicely on the store shelf at the physical store. So we're in this era where things are very skeuomorphic, and we're creating digital representations of things that live in the physical world. But that doesn't fully exploit and leverage the new medium that we're in, right? Take an artist, for instance, right? A physical artist today will work with oil and paintbrushes and a canvas. But I think a digital artist in the future is going to work in code, right? So I'm really inspired by changing the form factor of what a digital collectible can be when you unmoor it from the physical constraints that exist in the real world, right? And where what the object is that's tied to the token is executable code. When it's that, you can, rather than it being a digital toy that's static, you can have a digital toy that you can have a relationship with, that can talk to you, that can change and grow over time. So I think we're sort of at the mid stage of this era where we're largely making digital collectibles that are inspired by things that you can touch, feel, and hold in the real world. And I think at some point, though, that era is going to end, and somebody's truly going to invent, whether it's programmatic art, generative art, something that utterly shifts the actual medium of what a digital collectible can be, and literally blows people away, because it's something that you simply couldn't do if the raw materials for the collectible were paper or plastic.
That's also interesting, the point of views. Time flies, guys. Way back to our last but not least questions. So I would like to start a question from your own project perspective. So please share your vision of your project and how you think your project is gonna make NFT a better world. All right.
Thank you. So I think we really have faith in NFTs, and our mission is really, we believe in the empowerment of individuals, and we would like to help more people to come into the space and to benefit from this innovation. So the project I'm working on, X Carnival, is a synthetic assets aggregator, but just think of it as synthetics plus AV. So we really, embrace the NFTs with the product, for example, of X Broker, which enables people to pledge and borrow NFTs peer to peer. So, it could be any types of NFTs, not only just digital arts and collectibles, but also functional NFTs, financial NFTs, like the project I mentioned earlier, Solve, which is dedicated in financial NFTs, and we just formed a strategic partnership with them. So in this way, we are solving the problem of price discoveries in NFTs, and also to increase the liquidity issues in the NFT space. So we really hope that by offering more products like this, we make the space more accessible for the masses. And of course, we also have other products such as Megabox, X Arena, X Adapter, which help the users to use many easy templates to make synthetic assets and easier, and they could join the game. And so the whole point is really to enable more people to enjoy and benefit from the token economy. And I don't want to go into more details about the specifics of the product, but once we tap into the possibilities of NFTs and SPY and NFTs and DeFi, they're just really so much we can build and contribute to the community.
Thank you, Vivi.
Thank you.
So, Johan, please share your insights and this is what meme.com will bring, will lift the NFT world.
Sure.
Johan.
So we're big believers in, for crypto, that it becomes a place where people can work and have fun, enjoy themselves. And so we are very big believers in the meme economy, and that memes are a substantial aspect to everything. Markets and how people communicate and so on. So what we are building is a place where people can explore different memes, and they can, if they believe in something, get a vested interest in them. So we have different mechanics combining meme coins and NFTs, where we believe both people will be able to speculate and have fun. And while some people do that, they will also be funding meme creators and other people who create cool stuff in the form of NFTs that those people then get. So it becomes like a mix between, some people will go for status, some people will go for entertainment, some people will go for work and money, and hopefully we can make that a package that is appealing to as many people as possible.
Okay. Thank you, Johan. 那刚刚我们讲到了这个 meme.com 呢，其实它也是就是我们讲 meme 就有点表情包的这种感觉嘛。那其实 meme.com 它也是希望说让人们能在上面获得更多的快乐吧。那当然它也通过各种不同的这种就是我们这个 crypto 的这样经济模型，让大家能在分享的同时获得快乐的同时，还能去获得应有的这个在数字领域获得应有的这个价值支撑在这里。Thanks again, Johan. So let's welcome Michael. Also share your insights on this.
Certainly. So, Quid is fairly unique in the sense that we've got millions of collectors who started collecting digital collectibles in an off-chain environment. And we're now offering them the means to move their items off-chain and mint them as NFTs on-chain to their chain of choice. And so what we're working on really is customer education, right? We all want accessibility to go up. We all want this to go mass market. But if you ask the average no-coiner who's not familiar with crypto about the blockchain, they'll assume that there's one blockchain. There's not. There's multiple blockchains that constitute multiple ecosystems with multiple communities, right? And they're all fairly different, with different advantages and disadvantages. Also, I think the world believes that an NFT is a technical standard or a format like an MP3. And the reality is not all NFTs are created equal. Some actually have a fair amount of centralization to them, whereas some are true NFTs. They're fully decentralized and they can truly live on-chain forever. So because we're unique in that Quid has millions of digital collectors that we're bringing into the world of blockchain, we think our role is to really help educate the average no-coiner, the average super fan, the average physical collector who wants to experiment with digital collectibles. Our role is to educate them on what that means and what sort of happens post mint. Because we do believe moving objects on chain is a huge advantage to the individual collector, but we want that collector to have the agency to choose the quality of their NFT, as well as the agency to choose to which chain they want to store the NFT. And to do that, you really have to educate the masses as to the benefits and the pros and cons of each.
I think you're taking the huge responsibility to educate people. I mean, this is the very critical thing. I mean, to do very good direction. Thank you very much, Michael. 刚刚 Michael 讲到呢，包括这个 Q 的这个项目，大家也可以去官网上去看。那它更多的是在做2个事情，第一个就是把链下这个资产呢搬到链上来，就是帮助大家更多的去合成自己链上的这个资产。那第二个呢，就是他们也在做更多的跟教育相关的，就让更多人知道 NFT， 因为他们本身是2015年就起来的项目，那其实也是现在也是在就是传统的这个模式，不是这个crypto 的，那它其实拓圈的这个就也是帮助我们区块链这个NFT 这样在区块链里边拓圈了，让更多的在传统领域的人了解到 NFT， 那他们在做更多的这种教育的这种形式教育自己的客户去怎么去使用这些，我觉得很好。Thank you, Michael again, and Gaby from your gaming industry, and so from your project,
So yeah,
have insights.
What I just want to tell people is that, like, while a lot of people are hyper focused on price, the mass adoption is actually truly starting to happen. So you have games that are already onboarding thousands of new crypto users every day. You have products like NBA Top Shot that has brought on people who have never transacted on blockchain before. And there's an incredible amount of innovation that's happening right now. So it's kind of easy to get caught up in the headlines of, like how much an artwork sold for, or how much prices are up or down in the single day. But what I'm seeing is that more and more people are actually getting the benefits of blockchain. They're not there to speculate. They might be there to collect. They may be there because they're earning money for a better life for themselves. They may be there because they have the equivalent of a job in the metaverse that's putting food on the table. And this is really incredible. This didn't exist a couple of years ago, and it's actually here now.
Thank you very much. Now, all right, guys, it's been a great time to discuss with you guys all about the NFT things, and thanks for your time, and thanks for sharing your insights. So we will have another chat hopefully soon, on the other panel or offline events. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon offline or anywhere online panels. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.